Thank you so much, sir, for speaking with the CSR Journal. First, I would like to understand what you have been involved in, the initiative that you have taken, and the vision behind it.
Sure. It is possible to generate energy from waste, but it's hardly being done anywhere. And when we started looking into this space to start off with, we realized that many of these solutions were very World War II. They had not been designed keeping in mind the present. So we built a solution which caters to the needs of the changing our changing cities. Like let's say if we talk of a city like Mumbai, it is growing vertically. There's no space around. But if we want to have ideal, viable waste treatment solutions within the city, they have to be very small.
Did the government help you to any extent with this initiative that you have taken up?
Uh, well, yes and no, in the sense that we were very lucky. This is a space where there have been lots of failures. When I'm talking of the waste energy or rather biomethanation space, while the center has been of great, has been absolutely supportive. So has been the Minister of New and Renewable Energy. But the local governments, yes, there is a disconnect. We want to, had the red tapes in the country not been there, I'm sure we could have done much more. We wish only if the red tapes in the country were to be sent to the landfills alone. But yeah, so state governments, yeah, there is a disconnect. Yeah.
What do you think? How can we rope in the CSR initiatives that corporates do give out to make to take forward your project and make the place better? Because we have a lot of dumps, there's a lot of unhygienic, there's a lot of diseases that come out of it. How do you think we can rope in them, improve the information that's been disseminated, and make India also a better place to live in?
Yeah. So that's what. So when we're talking about, there is a disconnect, or there is, yeah, with respect to local governments. Now that is where CSR can play that magical role. We feel CSR can play a very transformation role and play the role which in many cases many of the maybe the governments are not playing.
Okay, you told me you had a lot of difficulty from the local government down there in Bangalore when you were trying to work it out at the grassroots level. Uh, what kind of hurdles and problems did you face?
No, I would say that, I mean, we did not face any problems as such. I'd be absolutely wrong if I were to say that. Instead, what I would say was that we have not got the kind of support that, that a made in India solution, it's a homegrown solution which is trying to solve the city's needs. So, we can go reach out to people to some extent. We believe, as a startup, that's the most we can do. We can develop the solutions. To make a national impact, obviously, we need the government support. So, it's more about, we feel the government should be helping us taking it to the next level rather than, so there have been no roadblocks for sure, but we feel the government can help us a lot more.
When we talk about CSR, and you said it's a startup, I would like to understand the entrepreneurship. There's a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs are coming around in the country. What do you think could be the strong link between CSR, where there's a lot of funding and they're giving out the money, and entrepreneurship?
I think while I'm not an expert on CSR, but maybe until now, a lot of CSR projects, from what we see, they have gone towards specific sectors and all. But education, it's a much needed sector. There's no doubt about it, and there are lots of amazing non-profits who are doing a lot of great work around that. But the point is, the country has many problems, and I think it's. Corporates through their CSR funds should be opening their eyes to many more problems. It should not be in the form of say a seed capital as such, but they can at least fund projects. Every startup, while they have their own internal needs, but in many cases they often need to showcase, demonstrate the right projects and all, and that is where CSR funds can play a big role. And I'm talking of, India has zillions of problems. So we have waste, water, traffic. There are so many problems. So these are many areas where CSR funds or foundations can also definitely look at.
Those are very great suggestions that you gave that the corporates can do. Recently, it was made mandatory where the corporates have to give 2% of it. Do you think we really require this? And do we think sometimes they don't always play, they do play foul sometimes also? So, do you think we need a supervising, a monitoring body for the same?
Ultimately, it's a company's profit, and they have, it's their decision to kind of give those funds to the kind of projects they are more passionate about. So it's obviously a personal decision. But yes, having said that, a regulatory body is definitely needed, because yeah, from my point of view, the role of the regulatory body should be, when we're talking of such huge amounts of CSR funds, maybe the role that the regulatory body can play would be that of a referee, ensuring that all the funds are equally diverted to all the critical problems of India instead of getting vested in just a single problem. So I think that's the role that they can definitely play.
You have worked a lot at the grassroots level and you have interacted with various people in the project that you took with GPS. I would like to understand how important do you think are individuals to the whole CSR aspect?
Individuals are always absolutely essential. So, just to give an idea, I mean, we are also trying to, while we set up these waste to energy or biomethanation projects rather for large institutions for bulk waste generators, we are trying to create public plants as well, where people can aggregate waste, come and sell it, and that's where we need the people involvement. So that's where we are trying to work with various waste management NGOs in Bangalore. People involvement is absolutely necessary, because the reason we have many of these problems are because of people, because of us. So people involvement is absolutely necessary to solve these problems effectively.
Okay, what are the new innovations, the new projects that you are coming up with in the near future?
The idea being to solve the energy crisis of India by working in sync with solar and wind and other renewable forms of energy.
So I think corporates can play a very big role to help you out with this and to make the energy crisis a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, while CSR funds are one route, the other thing is that it's not possible for a startup even a large firm to innovate on each and every aspect. And here we are talking of problems which need cross-disciplinary efforts and expertise. We ourselves are collaborating with many startups in Bangalore and even outside India. So because the goals are the same. So yes, I mean, big corporates have obviously a big role to play, because the problems are huge, and they need many more people to be working at the same time.
Tell me about exactly 8 to 10 words. What is CSR to you?
CSR can be that that medium. In many cases, it unwanted for many people, but can be that medium to bypass or play the role which often the government does not play in terms of transforming India.
We wish you all the best for your projects and thank you so much for talking to us on the CSR Journal.